The province number 3 has a number of forts used during Nepal unification and the wars against foreigners. These forts are important in terms of archaeological significance as well. The Chisapani Gadi is located in the middle of Makwanpur district and is considered an important checkpoint during the Nepal unification. The fort was built in the year 1801 Bikram Sambat by the Sen kings whose kingdoms were scattered around Makwanpur. The fort was renovated during the Nepal-British War of 1814 to 1816 BS. During the war, the British force led by Colonel Nicol was compelled to divert towards Simbhanjang after failing to battle the force of Kaji Chamu Bhandari and largely contributed by the strength of the fort. Even after Nepal unification, the fort was used for various administrative infrastructural purposes, including for army, administration, business, foreign affairs and immigration. It is said the cannons at the fort could fire over the high hills and even across the border. The idol of Batuk Bhairav at the fort is worshipped as a major shrine since the Sen dynasty era. Makwanpur Fort, at an altitude of 1,035 meters and located about 15 kilometers east from Hetauda, was built by Tula Sen during 17th century. The Sen dynasty ruled for about 300 years from this very fort. King Prithvi Narayan Shah, the king of Gorkha, while on his Nepal unification drive, conquered the strategic Makwanpur state after fighting a mighty 8 hours long war. Conquering Makwanpur was important to get to Kathmandu. After the fall of Makwanpur, the 2,500 big Mughal force led by Gurgen Khan, who had come to help King Digbandhan Sen, was defeated by the Gorkhali army on 10th of Magh 1819 Bikram Sambat. In the war, over 1,700 Mughal soldiers lost their lives, while 30 Gorkhali soldiers also died. In memory of the day, every year a victory celebration is observed on every 10th of Magh. The British had also attacked the fort during the Nepal-British War of 1814 to 1816 Bikram Sambat. The British troop, led by General Ochterlony, infuriated by the delay caused by the Nepali side to arrive for signing the Sugauli Treaty, had again attacked the Makwanpur fort, but to no avail. After conquering the Makwanpur fort, the Gorkhali army started planning to take over the Hariharpur fort. The Gorkhali force attacked the fort situated at a strategic location of the Mahabharata range towards the south of Kathmandu on 4th October 1762. The army of Hariharpur fort resisted the Gorkhalis and gave in ultimately. At midnight, the fort was vacated and the Gorkhalis marched in, marking the fall of the last of the Sen kingdoms. In course of Nepal unification, King Prithvi Narayan Shah led Gorkhali troop had, by the year 1822, already conquered most parts under the states of Kathmandu, Patan and Bhaktapur. In order to drive away the Gorkha troops, the then King of Kathmandu, Jayaprakash Malla, sought military assistance from the British East India Company. In response, on Ashwin 10th, 1824, a troop led by Captain Kinloch arrived Sindhulimari via Patna, Janakpur, Sindhuli. The Gorkha army stationed at the Sindhuli fort battled the British troop and prevented them from advancing towards Kathmandu 5 days later on 15th of Ashwin. The fort stands at an altitude of 1,520 meters from the sea level and has 2 forts within it. Both these forts were used during the Nepal-British War. The Upardang fort at northern Chitwan was built by the grandson of King Prithvi Narayan Shah, Satru Bhajan Shah, to fight against the British. As per the inscriptions, the fort was built in the year 1800 at an altitude of 1275 meters from the sea level. Until the year 1860, the Upardang, that holds a strategic, historic and archaeological significance, was the district headquarters of Chitwan. The Duguna Fort at Sindhupalchok is another tourist destination in Nepal. This is the fort used by the Nepali army during the war with Tibet. Likewise, the Rasua Gadi or the Rasua Fort, used during Nepal-China War, Someshwar Fort of Chitwan, that holds immense archaeological and religious importance, are among a few forts in Province Number 3. These forts of historical and archaeological importance have become an attractive destination to all those who aspire to study and explore the history, tactical and strategic skills of Nepal. Recently, with conservation efforts of these forts in place, they have also been attracting domestic tourists.